Thanks for joining today on Talking High Performance with Belle. And today I want to talk about one of my favorite topics. We're going to talk about the 6 habits that separate a high performer from the rest. So have you ever wondered why some people seem to achieve success with ease while others struggle despite putting in the same effort or sometimes even more? The answer isn't luck, intelligence, or even resources. The real difference lies in how they approach their day-to-day life. It's about adopting the mindset and habits of a high performer. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. So a high performance study was conducted to determine the habits that differentiate the top 15% of individuals from the rest. So when we talk about high performers, we're talking about the top 15%. And the study wanted to uncover why some individuals and teams achieve success faster and sustain it over the long term as compared to others. And they wanted to know, how do they sustain it without burning out along the way? And there were over 100 performance variables measured. And what they found was there were 6 habits that consistently separated the top 15% of these individuals from everybody else. And it's no surprise, these aren't just nice to have habits. They're crucial drivers for lasting success. And if you can recognize where there's areas for growth in your own life, it becomes really exciting because it's not long before you can begin to feel really good. So what are the habits and how can they make a difference in your life? So I want to break them down with you today one by one and give you some real world examples that you can relate to. The first habit that separated a high performer from the rest was the ability to seek clarity. High performers are incredibly clear about what they want, who they need to become, and how they want to feel. So it's not enough to set vague goals like, I want to be successful. You need to go deeper. For example, instead of saying, I want to get in shape, a high performer will go, I want to feel energized. I want to feel more strong. I'm going to go running 3 times a week. I'm going to eat more balanced meals. I'll prioritize my sleep to get there. So it's not about what they do. It's about how they want to feel and who they want to become in the process. So right now, I'd love you to take a moment to think about this in your own life. Where is one area where you could use more clarity? Is it in your career? Is it in your relationships? Is it when it comes to health? Identify it and then ask yourself, how do I want to feel in this area? Who do I want to become? That's the first habit. The second habit is a high performer has an incredible ability to generate energy, and energy is everything. So a high performer is intentional about managing their physical and mental energy so they can show up fully in their life, whether that means maintaining a regular exercise routine. Now, this doesn't have to be anything difficult. It could be daily walking. It could be practicing mindfulness. It could be ensuring you get enough sleep. A high performer knows that if they don't take care of their energy, they can't show up as their best. So think about a time when you were exhausted, maybe running on just a few hours of sleep. How productive were you? Probably not very. Now compare that to a day where you were well rested and energized. It makes the world of difference, right? So if you're feeling drained or burnt out, ask yourself, where can I make small changes to recharge? Now, we're not telling you to go and run a marathon. I am further on the other side of that scale, but maybe it's getting into bed an hour early when it comes to energy. Maybe it's going for a half an hour walk. Maybe it's taking more regular breaks throughout the day to have a glass of water, to do some stretches, to refuel. Generating energy is really essential to becoming a high performer. So I encourage you today to think about what could you do to increase your energy. That's the second habit. The third habit is the ability to demonstrate courage. Courage just isn't about doing things. It's not about being bold all the time. It can be sometimes for a lot of us taking small, consistent steps that push you out of your comfort zone. High performers know that growth doesn't just happen inside our comfort zone. If we're too comfortable, we're not striving for high performance. So if you're in a meeting and you have an idea, but you're hesitant to speak up, Demonstrating courage might be as simple as raising your hand and sharing your thought. And this for you may be really, really uncomfortable, but it's that discomfort that is the signal to you that you're growing. And the more you do that, the easier it becomes. So think about one small action you can take today to step outside of your comfort zone. It doesn't have to be a massive leap. Courage is built through small, consistent steps over time. That's the third habit. The fourth habit is raising necessity, or another word for that is raising your level of urgency. High performers don't just want to succeed. They need to succeed for themselves. So there's a deep sense of purpose behind everything they do. Whether it's performing at work, maintaining strong relationships, or even staying physically or mentally fit, they operate with a level of urgency and commitment to reach their goals. So if you take an example from your own life, have you ever noticed that when something feels necessary, like a deadline, you find a way to get it done no matter what? High performers bring that same sense of necessity or same sense of urgency to daily life, even without the external pressure, because they're performing for themselves. So ask yourself today, where in your life right now do you need to raise your level of urgency? So what will happen if you don't raise it? Where will you be this time next year? So that's the fourth habit. The fifth habit is a high performer has an amazing ability to increase their level of productivity. So productivity isn't about doing more things. It's about doing the right things. So a high performer will know how to focus on what matters, how to eliminate or reduce distractions, and how to stay disciplined to what they want to achieve. An everyday example of this that I use all the time in workshops or when talking to clients is email. We've all spent way too much time in our inbox, only to realize at the end of the day or by late afternoon that the most important tasks were left undone. A high performer will flip this. They know that yes, sure, there's sometimes urgent emails they need to respond to, but an email is working to somebody else's agenda. A high performer will prioritize their tasks and focus on high impact activities that move the needle. For me, for example, this will be checking my emails a couple of times a day and responding, and the rest of the time I'm working on what I need to move myself and my goals forward. So one tool I love for increasing productivity is a tool called time blocking. So if you know there's something important you need to work on, block out time in your calendar and stick to it. So focus deeply for that time on that project. Don't reply to emails, don't reply to text messages, and protect that time from distractions. So that's the fifth habit. And the sixth habit is the ability to develop influence. High performers know that success is not achieved alone. You want to lead and inspire others. So whether it's building trust with teams, mentoring others, or just working in collaboration, they're intentional about creating an environment where everyone can succeed and it's a win-win for everybody. Because if I'm winning and you're losing, it's a fail. So think about a time when you worked with someone who inspired you. Maybe they encouraged you to take on a challenging project, or they led by example, or they were really passionate. High performers consistently seek to develop that kind of influence in their relationships. So this week, I encourage you to think about, how do you bring even more influence into your life? Is there someone you can mentor or someone that you can guide? Maybe it's about showing up with more empathy and understanding people around you at that next level. So I hope these habits have helped. They are the habits that separate a high performer, the top 15% of individuals, from the rest. Seeking clarity, generating energy, demonstrating courage, raising necessity, increasing productivity, and developing influence. So these habits are not just for the elite. They're for anyone who wants to achieve more, feel better, and make a greater impact. And the good news is you don't have to master them all at once. Start by choosing one habit and focus on that this week. Make it your priority and see how it starts to shift your mindset, your energy, and even your results. Before I wrap up today, I want to leave you with a quick challenge. I want you to think about which of these 6 habits resonate the most with you, with where you are now. What's the one habit that if you improved it even by 10% would make the biggest difference in your life. Maybe you need more clarity about your goals. Maybe you're feeling burnt out and you need to focus on energy. Whatever it is, commit to working on that habit this week and tweaking and seeing what can be done. As we head toward the end of the year and into 2025, remember, you have the power to choose how you show up. High performance is not about doing more, it's about doing the right things with intention. And when you do that, you have greater energy and much better focus. I hope today's episode has given you some valuable insights and steps to bring more high performance habits into your life. And if you found this episode helpful, share it with someone who could use a little extra motivation or inspiration today. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a review if you enjoyed the episode. And if you're ready to dive a bit deeper, join me next week as I talk about how to master these habits for lasting personal fulfillment. So until then, live a successful, purposeful, and fully charged life. Your coach, Belle. Are you feeling overwhelmed trying to balance work and life? If you're finding it hard to excel in these areas, it may be time for a change. The Elevate with Belle membership offers a practical solution designed to help you regain control and achieve your goals. With this membership, you'll join a community of ambitious individuals committed to real results. Twice a month, you can participate in live sessions where you'll receive actionable strategies and insights to boost your productivity and work-life balance. And if you can't attend live, all the sessions will be recorded for your convenience. You'll also have opportunities to engage with guest experts and attend exclusive events throughout the year. If you're struggling with productivity, you can learn some effective time management techniques. If you're feeling burnt out, you can get some strategies for better work-life integration. And if you're lacking energy, I can help you with tools to help you stay motivated and inspired throughout the day. And this is just an example of some of the things we'll be covering. So if you're ready to make a change, then join the Elevate with Belle membership today and let's start achieving the results you've been aiming for.